Okay. All right. Good morning. Good evening. As I say, good stumping. Hero Mode Podcast episode. Austin, make it up. What episode are we at?
13.6.
Point six. We have the
It's kind of like a Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories type episode where it's like
too many games. Too many games. I was in 10th grade when that came out. Now I'm almost 40. I'm finished. I don't care anymore. Everything's but as usual, I'm the host of the most. Today I'm Go Beyond Galen. My pleasure to welcome my two brothers, family members as usual. AJ, Austin, James. What's going on, man? I love your shirt, dog.
What's up? I am repping Bochi the Rock. I've never watched the show, but my boy Made by Majora on Instagram is creating some phenomenal anime wear. So check it out, Made by Majora.
Check that out.
The shirt is actually pretty dope.
That is pretty dope. I thought it was Sailor Moon for a second.
What's up?
I thought it was Sailor Moon.
I kind of thought that too. Like I saw it, I was like, oh, Sailor Moon. And then I copped it and I was like, oh, that's not. All right, but we'll still cop. Whatever. Whatever. Nah, that's a good shirt. Good brand. Check it out. But I'm chilling, man. I'm happy to be here, bro.
Yeah, this is gonna be good. I'm judging free podcast here, so we don't, we're not hating on it. Sean Tama, my man, what is the latest and greatest? How are you, my friend?
Oh, nothing much, man. I'm looking to get into this with some anime topics. Oh, this is gonna be good. We're gonna have a good one. Yeah, no, Austin, that's a nice shirt. I love Made by Majora. I got actual Legend of Zelda with Majora's Mask on it from Made by Majora. I got one from Hunter x Hunter with Goon on it. That does amazing work. So yeah, check them out.
And we're excited. We are very excited. Our now member of the Hero Association. Please welcome and congratulations on 90,000 subscribers on YouTube. Please check his YouTube channel out. That is amazing. He's been doing it for, again, the Lord's work. Ernie, Blerd without fear, great guy. Thank you for joining us. How are you, my friend? How are you?
Oh man, I'm fantastic. I feel good. I feel great, actually. Yeah,
man, you're just ascending the Super Saiyan levels of like joy and everything. You went from Kaioken to Super Saiyan to blue. Oh yeah, seriously, also Super Saiyan blue.
Whatever
back when Kaioken was the best. Yeah.
whatever Saiyan they come up with next, Super Saiyan.
Oh, God.
They have pink. I was gonna troll that. No, that's a real thing. Crap.
No, it's Super Saiyan Rose.
Oh, sorry, my bad, yo.
That's a mighty fancy way to say pink.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, a mighty fancy.
I respect it more. It's lavender. It's like, no, it's purple.
Lavender.
Shut up.
They got to do that next. I mean, Gohan went gray, or silver.
They already got purple, bro. It's Vegeta's type.
What was that? His Ultra Instinct,
Ultra Ego.
Yeah.
You know what? I miss when Super Saiyan 3 was like, holy crap! Like
that was the pinnacle.
We're gonna beat this. Easily.
This is what happens when you have like a story about characters who constantly fight and achieve power levels. Yeah. It's kind of a lot of the reason why I think your more current anime and manga have. I mean, they still do it, but you can tell they're getting. I won't necessarily say getting away from it, but those manga and anime that do it try to have definitive endings where they don't come back and have to like, well, how am I going to outdo because I guarantee that was a conversation. It's like, well, how do I outdo Super Saiyan 3?
Right.
Yeah, Super Saiyan 3. Like, well, how do I beat that? Okay, well, now we have Ultra Instinct nowadays. It's like I'm not even counting Super Saiyan 4 because it doesn't exist to me. But then it's like, okay, well, how do you beat Ultra Instinct? What's the next thing?
I don't know. I thought
they got that YouTube. There's a Dragon Ball Z YouTube junk. What is it? But it's all like the weird. It's kind of like it's not canon. I don't think.
Oh no. So it's like they made their own like fan version.
Yeah,
and it's kind of like I guess a multiverse type deal.
Like that Xenoverse.
They create their own characters. They create how like the story goes. What happened? Honestly, the art is wild. It's crazy how they do it. But I was gonna say, Ernie, too. It's if you notice with even Bleach. I don't know if you were like caught up Are you seeing with the new season that they brought out
A
to end?
1,000 Year Blood War. I haven't watched
Yeah.
any of that.
Okay. Well, it's kind of I feel like it's kind of the same thing in terms of like, okay, so I understand the manga ended, but the anime didn't end where the manga did. So they were trying
Right.
to like, put it out. But it's kind of like you've already gotten to this point. If for the old, like when the anime ended, Ichigo loses his powers to save the day. He's like, okay, I'm gonna beat Aizen by giving up all my powers for the final Getsuga Tensho. So he goes, I'm gonna do this. Now they come back. Everybody wants Ichigo to get his powers back. So now he's got to go through this whole thing, get brand new powers, just to get powers and his old powers again, just to get a new updated version of the powers he already had. I'm like, that's like, you know what I mean? At this point, they just like throwing stuff on, like, okay, let's just keep adding. And it gets convoluted with Dragon Ball Z. Back in the day, remember in Dragon Ball and even early Dragon Ball Z when they used to box, like you would see the choreography.
Yeah, you would. Yeah.
It's a couple flashes and then a gigantic power move, and then a couple flashes and then a gigantic power move, and then it's over, you know?
They lose their
just,
way.
Yeah, exactly.
They lose their way. It's a I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't it's rare that I absolutely positively just hate something. But that is actually something that I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of the like, okay, so anime, manga, there's a cardinal sin I've been noticing that anime and manga have begun committing that used to be the argument for why it was a good alternative to American comics. And it was that it ends.
Yeah.
And now
it does not
shit
end.
don't end no more.
It doesn't end, bro.
It's Naruto.
Yeah.
They're like, oh no. We ain't done. We ain't done, baby. We got Shippuden. Yeah. Oh, you done with you done with shipping it? Oh, you done with that?
Yeah.
Guess what, baby? We got Boruto for you, baby. We ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. You likes that Boruto? Guess what? We got some more Boruto for you.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball. Be like, hey, we got that super, baby. You want to come back and get that super? Come on, come back and get that super, baby.
Get that super.
You know,
and I think did I hear they have another one? Isn't there like another one that
There's another one, and it's like GT kind of, but now they're all kids.
They're kids.
They're all kids, and the villain dude is the one that the villain, which I kind of, but like, okay, I kind of like what they gave from the trailer. I don't care for everyone being kids, but like, I like that the villain, how they portrayed him, he's actually like watching like their whole history, like we've been watching the show, so he's seen everything. So I like that concept. I think that's kind of cool. But them being kids, like, come on, guys. We are backpedaling heavy.
Yeah, because Austin, think about it like this, right? The manga for Dragon Ball Super is still ongoing, but now we've got Dragon Ball Daima. So where does this fit in the mix? Like in the manga, you from Dragon Ball Superhero, the movie. Gohan turns Super Saiyan Beast out of nowhere. And now he's on the same level as Goku and Vegeta from wherever they're training in the manga. And in the Dragon Ball Super manga, Goku and Vegeta was going through wildness and like powered up. And then Gohan just gets angry because he sees Piccolo, dying for the third time.
It worked for the millionth time.
For the third time.
The Piccolo is the sacrificial Negro, like, yet again.
Yeah, actually. Well, realistically.
Bro, it's Black History Month, and we know Piccolo's black.
Look.
Hold on. Ernie literally had a video, like a couple weeks ago. I watched, and I showed my son. And he loved it, and the funny thing is my son is white, right? But he absolutely thought it was great, and it was like you call it the Piccolo effect, and so when me and you were talking and everything, Ernie, I was like, I love that video and everything. The niggas and everything was Piccolo. I mean, he is black, I said he's the goonest one. Is Piccolo?
Yeah,
he's the biggest goon. He can't compete with these S tier villains these days. I'll hold it down until Goku and Vegeta. Okay, he's the smartest one, but I'm gonna hold it down until you guys get here in turn, Ultra Ego or Beast or whatever it is. But I'm probably gonna get murked in the process.
Got nerfed though, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he got nerfed. Yeah.
Nerfed him. Yeah.
Because now he's got orange
Piccolo. Suntan.
So now orange Piccolo is kind of up there, but here's the thing, right?
He's big. He's big and he's orange.
Yeah, seriously.
Got blasted away. Got this big orange junk. Is blasted away. I mean, he's cooked when his pupils are gone. He got the white eyes. Back folded. That perfect cell folded his clothes with him still in them, bro.
Got his back kicked all the way in. Like,
seriously.
What's crazy to me is that they sat there and they did that in Dragon Ball Super with the Broly movie when they redid Broly's background.
Yeah.
Remember when Goku and Vegeta or Goku uses in transmission to go to Piccolo? He's like, "Yo, you gotta teach us how to do the fusion dance." And Piccolo's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I sensed what was going on, but I know I'd be no help. I just get in the way."
Yeah.
Like,
Yo,
that's some Yamcha shit. That's some shit Yamcha would say.
Yamcha.
That Broly movie thick, bro.
Yo,
that was great movie.
Yamcha got murked so bad. If you think about it, right? Okay, Yamcha trained. He trained with King Kai. He started fighting after that with the androids. Got murked by the android, bro. And then he comes through, and he has a new haircut, whatever. In Dragon Ball Super, he looks the exact same as he did in Dragon Ball. So
the original,
work so bad that you regress back to how you looked before. Like, dude looked like he was an adult. He was a professional baseball player. Now he got no money. He just chilling with Poor, bro.
There is a manga that came out. I read it recently. I read it a couple months ago, where it's almost like a parody of Dragon Ball. And this kid, get what happened? He trips and falls and dies over his trying to go to his crush, and he wakes up as Yamcha, right? And he wakes, and so it's in the middle of the Saiyan saga or something. So he's just like, wait, I know what happens. I read Dragon Ball. So he gets he's like, I'm not gonna get blown up by a Sabiman. So he goes and trains, and he goes to Namek ahead of time and gets his powers unlocked, and he's the one who finishes off Vegeta. When the Saiyans come to Earth, Yamcha kills Vegeta instead of Krillin attempting to, like it originally was back in the anime and manga. I forget what it's called, but basically at the end, it was only 4 issues, but at the end he fights Chaozu, who's like as strong as like Cell. So you got the two most useless characters. Chaozu!
Yeah. You know what? This episode is so mad. We gotta name this episode Yamcha Deserved Better. That's gotta be the name of this episode.
No, man. Not only did Yamcha get killed, but his girl got took by the dude who killed him, bro.
Yeah, got the robbery.
Look, was it that meme of Vegeta closing the door with the evil with that like goon ass smile on his face? He just like, I got your girl.
Yes, yeah, he did the robbery
so bad, yeah.
She's doing freaky stuff for me she ain't never done for you.
Got two kids. I
was about to say, he'd put two babies in what used to be your baby.
Yeah, you got the robbery.
And now you got, man, you know what? Honestly, that's probably the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen happen.
I like Yamcha. I liked him.
Yeah. Oh no, here's the thing. We used to have a joke. Back in the day when like your Dragon Ball Tenkaichi or Budokai Tenkaichi 3, so on and so forth. We used to have this running joke where we would pick characters like the Chaozus and the Tians and the Yamchas just for fun. Yeah. Just as like an exercise to see, like, man, how cold am I?
Yeah.
Right.
Can I run the tank? And what we always used to have this joke about Yamcha, because we would get Yamcha and put him in like where Yamcha's got the suit
Yeah.
And he's like he's just super fresh. We used to call it the Yumcha drip. And we were like, dude, all right, look, I'm gonna come in. All right, you can have Vegeta, whatever, with the Patara earrings, whatever you can make go. You do what you got to do. I'm coming in with Yumcha. I'm putting on the Yumcha drip, and that's just what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come in and I'm just gonna whip your ass with Yumcha. And that was a sign that like if you could do that,
you was straight. You was good.
Yeah. You were absolutely positively nice on them sticks. With Yamcha
cold though, and Tenkaichi 2, Budokai Tenkaichi 2. Yo, I used to go crazy with Tien because if you know how you can upgrade their powers and everything like that. So when he did his Tri Beam, I put that junk at max power. I upgraded it, and like I'd be fighting these dudes. Yo, once you land them, you just Tri Beam them multiple times. You're straight.
Boom. Oh, so you were spamming, or when you get hit. When you get hit in the corner with Yamcha's Wolfang fist, you're just sitting there. All you see is, I'm like, yo, stop, please.
What's crazy about like Tien's Tri Beam is that like it always came out as a square, which was weird.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he did Tri Beam, but it came out as a square in the game.
Come out as a square. You're right. You are right about that.
It came out as a square when he was fighting Cell too.
Did it really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was
because I remember when he was burying him with that.
Yeah, Cell kept trying to get out, and every time he got out, he just kept getting hit. And Cell
was it a square?
It was a square. He's right. I didn't.
Dude,
yo, good observation, Sean. Don't play.
Because I remember him like really like getting Cell into the dirt with that.
Yeah,
but like I didn't remember it being a square though, because why would I think?
I gotta look.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Don't play. I'm a big fighting game fan. Fighting community. If you want some salt, go play Dragon Ball FighterZ online, and
oh man,
and everything. And I've been playing fighting games for years. I don't get salty very much, but I can see how it happens and everything. And you get Yamcha, you get the robbery.
Oh yeah, no, I've. That's why I don't mess with that game at all. Because I went into that one because like I was a big Guilty Gear guy.
Ooh,
back in the day, I used to play.
Yes.
Oh yeah, dude. So I'm gonna tell you how nasty I was.
Okay.
My shit was Melia Rage. That was that was my girl. Cross.
She's hard to main too.
She's difficult. She's difficult. Like she's not an easy character to utilize. But like it was always either
not working.
It was always either her or I wasn't not enough to say that like I could like main her, but Biken was awesome. Another one that I used to mess with because I'd be kicking the mats up in the air on the ass like midair, like that's the time it did, like hitting that shit over and over. But no, I remember thinking like, oh yeah, dude, yeah, I can get on this. Man, I picked the sticks up on that damn game, got my shit rocked.
Got cooked.
The golden brown. It was good and crispy, like perfect snap. Chicken was still moist in the dude. Like you biting it like some crispy chicken, and it's like, man, the skin is crispy, but the chicken on the inside is still moist.
Good old Popeyes.
Just like that. I was like, oh my god! I said, well, let me take this game back to GameStop. I'm gonna go ahead and take the hit on the trade-in value because I already know what time it is. I used to work at GameStop.
10 cents.
Have you played the new Tekken?
No, I have not. It's once again same thing.
Yeah,
I used to be nice.
My
used to be nice.
Bought it and he
not anymore.
Game share. So I was like, okay, I'll play because I was talking to him, Mike. I was like, oh yo, let me see how it is, right? So I get on there and I'm going like they don't even teach you the combos, right? So
never did.
Oh, they never
did. Like I put it on easy. I was like, oh okay, this is kind of nice. I'm getting some combos. So I went online.
Yep.
I immediately turned it off, bro. I got destroyed. You don't understand. This dude had me in the corner.
Yep.
I picked Law. I picked martial law. And dude picked
Law is sick, bro.
No, Law is sick. So I was like, I got this. I was like, I got this. he picked Kazuya, bro, and had me in the corner. I was like, please. I was trying to I was like, I can't.
Dragon
I
Fist.
was like, I can't even input nothing. I can't even run away.
Last time I did any fighting online was it Capcom versus SNK?
Great game.
Ooh,
for Wii. That
You're
was
a gentleman. That's a gentleman.
I'm a gentleman. Yeah, it was for the freaking Wii. I was playing as what's the team? It's not like Voltron, but it's like the other guys. They're like they have like the Falcon suits.
Oh, gotcha, man.
Gotcha, man.
Yeah, yo,
Battle of the Planets.
There you go.
Yeah,
I used to go crazy with them. I was pretty sick online for like a week.
I'm gonna tell you. So the reason I stopped playing Tekken. Maybe so it's 8 that's out now. I think not even Tekken 7. It was like the one before that. I stopped because there's a dude who lives in my neighborhood, or not neighborhood, just in my neck of the woods.
Yep.
Little Majin.
Oh, I know Lil Majin. He is.
Yeah.
Lil Majin is ridiculous as king.
Oh no, he's one of the top. Last I checked, he's one of the top 100 players of Tekken.
Yes,
I think he might even be in the top 70 something players in the world.
He was at Evo.
Yeah.
Well, probably 3 or 4 years ago. I know Lil Majin.
Oh yeah. Oh no, he is the stuff of nightmares. He's the stuff of nightmares. And let me tell you something. He's not just good at Tekken.
No, really?
Back some years ago, because back we had a stronger fighting game community here in Memphis some years ago. But I remember back in the day. And I'm not talking shit about him because he knows. I've told him this before. Okay. But I remember so many tournaments that I used to play in.
Yep.
I always had the misfortune of either facing him first.
Yep.
Or getting a little bit of a ways into it where like I get put in the loser's bracket. I fight my way out. If I fight my way out, I got to fight this. I got to fight him, whether it's again or for the first time. And I was like, dude. And the thing is, and once again, no shade against him because the guy's legitimately good. It didn't matter whether we were playing Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, heck, oh man, Soul Calibur. Dude, he embarrassed me. Soul Calibur so bad. I think we were playing Soul Calibur. So good. Dude, Soul Calibur 2, this man made like, because I used to be nice with Ivy. Like I was one of those cats that I could do all her command grabs, all that stuff. Like, and I'm talking about in the clutch. Like actually going against somebody. I could hit you with some wild stuff. Yeah. This man, he jacked me up so good. Like I'm talking about, dude, like literally he kicked my back all the way in so hard that it was straight again. And with Ivy. So it was an Ivy on Ivy match. And this dude,
the character.
Dude, it's like, and here's the thing. And that's what I always loved about Majin, because we were kind of kindred spirits in a way. Because like whatever game he played, we usually, like with the exception of Tekken, we usually play similar characters. But whatever character was like my main, he probably played that character. Because Guilty Gear, back in the Double X days, I wanted to play. I loved Dizzy. Yeah, that was his character on Double X. What was it on Tekken? If he wasn't playing King, every now and again, because I like playing Brian Fury, you would pick up Brian Fury. Now, it's always a mirror match. I love him to death, but man, I hate playing against him. That dude is disgusting. He is disgusting. And I mean that in the nicest way humanly possible. I don't even think I'm saying he's terrible.
In the East Coast, I've been playing Street Fighter since I was a kid. And, going to the community, fighting game community, everything. So, do you know a guy named Triforce by chance?
Name sounds vaguely familiar to me.
He's like one of the
other
guys,
than the fact that it's like a Zelda thing, like
other than that. Justin Wong.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So Justin Wong was part of his team way back in the day. So he's coming on in March to talk about Marvel versus Capcom and how important comics were to the scene. So I hadn't been to a tournament at this point probably since like I got married in 2017, so it's like my last one. So I'm playing Street Fighter 5 at the time. I go to a tournament in New York, and one of the guys I ended up going against was Daigo. And and so and I got to top 40, and
man,
that was Defend the North, and I'm like, you know what? I don't care. We're just going at it. But at some point he just downloaded me. There's one moment where I knew he downloaded, like, oh, all right, because I took a set off him, and then it was a close second set, and we get to the third, and there's just one move he blocked. We're doing Ryu main, and I said, oh no, he figured it out, and all that. So I just got washed, for the rest of the 2 rounds and everything. But wow, fighting a community. Wow, Small. I did not know you knew Lil Majin.
Oh
you
yeah,
said
no.
You said Tennessee. I said, man, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That does make sense.
We're in the same backyard. I went to lots of tournaments. He was 99.9% of the time.
Yeah,
always there.
It
was cool, cat. He is one of the most, like, the thing about Lil Majin, he is one of the most humble, most down to earth and easy to talk to people. Like, I remember back in the day, people used to think like even in amongst our community, you're like, oh man, dude, he's a legend, dude. He probably ain't messing with us small time cats. No, he actually used to hold little like gatherings where he would like help teach other people to be as nice as he was.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he still does, but like I remember he used to, and like there's a lot of cats in Memphis that are like really legitimately good at a lot of games, and I guarantee you a lot of it you could probably link it back to Lil Majin on some level.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
So
though.
What is, like I say, great guy.
What is this is a great conversation so far. So we didn't get your origin stories yet. No, we got to get
back. We need origins.
Yeah, you know what? So I always like my origins better when they come like after the story's already started. There you go. So it all works out.
All one big introduction. So let's actually get into the show.
So welcome to the Hero Mode podcast.
Redo.
Yeah. So now that we got that all the way. So we said off air before we logged in, like before we recorded, like I found you like a year ago, or no, excuse me, not more than a year, during COVID. Much the same when I found Brian from Comic Breakdown during COVID too. And so you've been doing it for a minute. It says you got like 1.7 thousand videos ish. Do I have that? Sort of. So
sounds about right.
How did you get into comics? How did you parlay that into, we're close in age, so you told us a little bit, but how did you get into this whole media and parlay that into YouTube spectrum?
So, okay. Basically the way it all breaks down is
Comic Breakdown. Oh, sorry.
Pun intended. It all goes back to when I was 4 years old. My mother used to buy me comics, and show a little age here. I'm show a little bit of age. This was a time when you could get comics in the mail.
Oh, Sonic the Hedgehog comics right here.
Yeah, it was like I used to get a lot, like basically like Batman, Superman, The Flash, stuff like that. I honestly don't recollect getting any Marvel books back then, but like it was something that stuck, and I kept with it. Comics are legitimately how I learned how to read. Like I also would say that I used to get made fun of for this when I was in school, because it wasn't cool to be a quote unquote nerdy kid. I used to get made fun of a lot because I used to use, as a small child, a lot of big words. But they were words that I knew because I read comics.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I remember one time when the first time I used the word remnant in a sentence that one of my classmates had read. And it was because I, at the time, I guess I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but I loved comics so much I was, drawing my own, like drawing, you're a kid or whatever. And I was showing it to a friend of mine. He was like, this is cool, but he's like, you misspelled remains. Like, I said, no, I didn't. Remnants is a word for remains. I was like, it's a different way to say it. Like that's the kind of kid I was back then. But no, I went to comic shops all the time. My mom would take me to the comic shop every week or two, give or take. I discovered more comics. I discovered the Milestone Media stuff back then. Like I still remember it's perfectly encapsulated in my brain. The first time I saw Icon, and it was it wasn't the front page, but it was in one of the pages, like one of the main pages of the Commercial Appeal, which is the local paper around here. And it was a picture of Icon and Hardware and Static, and it was like this whole thing, like new black comic book imprint, blah blah blah. I forget the exact thing, but whatever it was they said, it was something flowery and probably made it sound even more grandiose than what it actually was. But I remember going to the shop, I'm like, oh, I want to get these. And I was getting into like, stuff like X-Men and, stuff like Daredevil. And, at the time, Black Panther didn't really have his own book at the time, exactly. At least not precisely, give or take. That was a little later. His book was not active then, but like characters like Moon Knight, so on and so forth. I got into all that stuff, Justice League and Green Lantern, whatever. And I kind of found my favorites. My name probably gives away one of my favorite superheroes: Blerd Without Fear, Daredevil, Man Without Fear. X-Men. If no one could tell, I love X-Men a lot. I like street level heroes though above just about anything else. Though, like if you put a hero on the street level, I'm here for it because I that's just how I am. But it all just kind of grew, and I took breaks here and there. Actually, one of my biggest breaks was Spider Clone Saga.
I don't Spider-Man Clone because Saga. That took forever.
Well, you know what? I felt validated. Yeah, I mean, sometimes they bring it back. They brought it back not too long ago for Miles Morales. But I felt validated in this.
Yeah.
Because one of my favorite writers, Tim Seeley, he said the same thing. He was like, when the Spider-Man Clone Saga was going on, he said, no more. I'm going to put this down and I'm going to read something else. And that was kind of how I felt. And then I think shortly after that, the Onslaught stuff that was going on with X-Men, I was like, this is dumb.
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm going to come back later. And it just like, and also at the same time, I was discovering anime and manga in that same breath. It was the first time I saw Akira, the first time I saw Vampire Hunter D and Ninja Scroll. And like that was like the
Vampire Hunter D.
Bro, he got me with that,
old school. Look,
that's the animation. I love that kind of animation.
Yes,
dude. I honestly, I wish they went back to it. Yeah, I wish they went back to it, but they won't.
Right. Oh no, they won't because it won't attract. I feel like it won't grab like today's generation like that. Yeah. Like us looking back at it, like it's so freaking good, man.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I lean more into like the sci-fi-ish side of things. So like obviously like Akira, like Ghost in the Shell. That was.
What about like Psycho-Pass? You mess with Psycho-Pass in it?
Psycho-Pass is dope.
Okay. That's my wheelhouse. That's actually my preferred, like kind of like what you're saying, like kind of a sci-fi. More if it's sci-fi or cyberpunkish, I'm probably going to be in.
Yeah. Right.
Unless it's bad.
Did you by any chance do you like One Piece, or have you seen One Piece or watched it?
Ooh. I do not like One Piece.
Okay. Here's the thing, right? Listen,
everybody that's the title of the episode. I do not like One Piece.
That's crazy.
That would be so good.
That'd be hype.
That'd be good. That's it, Galen. That's it, right?
That's the one.
Yo,
cut the check.
One Piece has to be my all-time favorite anime manga, right? I like the manga more than I like the anime, but I did not like it I'll admit, as a kid,
Mm.
and One Piece aired on Toonami the same time Naruto did and Bleach did.
Talk
And
dirty.
I was most definitely drawn to Naruto more than I was drawn to One Piece because of the way the storytelling was. It was only until I got to the 6th grade and my reading teacher allowed us to, she literally bought it for us. She was like, I'll order stuff off Amazon. I'll order books and stuff. So I was looking at it and I'm like, I didn't know there was a comic because at this point I'm still like, I don't manga, whatever. I'm like, I'll buy a comic from One Piece. I'll try to get back into it. And it was only until I read the manga that I was like, bro, One Piece is great. Like, I love it. But the reason why I say that is because it goes to your points, what you were saying about the animation. They changed the animation from One Piece in last season and even more so in this new season. It's like bright and bubbly and
I've seen some of it, because a buddy of mine, he's really into One Piece, so he's always sharing clips and stuff like that. And I was like, I've noticed I've noticed the evolution of that show, which is
it's changed. But I'm like, I can't. I have my little. I had to put up Luffy, but no, I agree with what you're saying. I agree because even Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, when their art is so nice, but it's so colorful and detailed. My Hero Academia, the same thing. It's just so colory and bubbly.
It's bright.
And I'm just like, bro, I want the dingy. I want that gray.
What the dark?
You know what I mean? With the lines that you draw from Cowboy Bebop or old Trigun or again Fire Hunter D, bro.
Oh no, I'm gonna mess your head up. So a buddy of mine, who I talk to a lot, he and I were having this conversation because he and I are about roughly the same age.
Yeah.
There was a thing back when I was coming up on anime, and it played in front of every anime that I started watching in the early days. Now, I'm gonna name a company. This company was called Streamline, and before everything you watched, they had a little sizzle reel to be like, "Hey, here's all our other stuff." Manga, the studio, they did something similar, but Streamline hit different for me because here's how it started. You put the the VHS in your VCR.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it'd boot up and you'd play the little FBI warnings and stuff. And then after that, you would hear state of the art Japanese animation. And they would start playing. And it was playing some weird beat. It was I implore you, look up Streamline anime sizzle reel on YouTube because it's out there. There are people who've uploaded it. That's when they were showing you Silent Mobius. They were showing you 3x3 Eyes. They were showing you Akira. They were showing you The Dirty Pair. They were showing you Vampire Hunter D. They were showing you 8-Man After. They were showing you Crying Freeman. They were literally was a Doomed Megalocalypse. This is all like the old school like glory days, dark, grimy, just dirty, just like it was so nasty and raw. But like you can find that stuff out there now. Like if you have like Tubi TV or Retro Crush or whatever, like one of my favorite ones, even though it's not particularly like the greatest thing on earth, Goku, the Midnight Eye. It is everything that I like about that older style because the animation, all the characters look great. Oh, they're so detailed. Oh, and they have the cityscapes because it's like a cyberpunk deal. It's like a cyberpunk techno noir anime. And whenever they would show you like the buildings, it'd be these crazy looking, just super hyper, just ridiculously detailed buildings. You're like, oh my god, who drew this? Who took the time? You would see that stuff and say that sort of thing. And even when you jump forward about 10 years to manga when Ninja Scroll was out, and it was like
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, was it KMF? They played the thing at the beginning with KMFDM, and it was like what was it, Wildfire?
Yeah,
by KMFDM, and you're just like, oh my god, and they're just showing all these different, like, oh my god, this dude, what? Where do I get all this? And I remember I spent most of my teenage life hunting down each and every one of these, tapes, because at the time there were no DVDs. But like I was hunting down all this stuff. And I'm telling you, it was an addiction. It was very much an addiction. But that's kind of why I have some of the likes and dislikes, or I don't want to say dislikes. Blind spots is a better way to put it. Like, when people talk to me about, oh man, are you excited about that Batman Beyond thing, that the movie they tried to pitch that ultimately will not happen?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't really care about Batman Beyond. Dope. Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah.
But for me, that's the shit I was on.
Right.
I was too caught up in Akira, Vampire Hunter D Zone, Ninja Scroll. I was like, yeah, Batman Beyond's cool and all, but man, I was like, look, sit down. Have you watched Ninja Scroll?
Yeah.
I'm like, look, I appreciate, I love Static Shock as much as the next guy, but at the time, I was already watching Vampire Hunter D, Crying Freeman, 8 Man After. There was nothing you could show me that I was just going to be like,
right.
Yeah. I mean, I loved it, but it was just like, that's where I was.
Yeah.
It's a different era, too. That's the thing.
It was a very different place.
It had to change. I mean, it had to change because even like Batman Beyond, like highly revered, but it's a different era, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
No, my dad put me out. He put me heavy onto the old school anime. So we're watching Robotech. He's put me onto original Gundam and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
His favorite thing growing up was Voltron. So like it just kind of, he brought that to me. So Andy likes Speed Racer, and you see the animation style. Yeah. It's like a different.
He was a jerk. I'm sorry.
Oh, big time! But he molded us. But like the animation style, like we saw how it was back then, and the vibe was just so different. Like you said, like it was dark, it was grungy, but like you freaking loved it, and it's what you knew. Yeah. And then now, it is a lot more like bubbly and bright.
It's a lot like computer generated too. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of digital animation.
Yeah, it still looks good. It's good for now, but like still, there's sometimes where it's just like I want that old school, just darker vibe where everyone's serious. Like if there's not really a lot of joking. Like if someone feels embarrassed, their feet aren't going up in the air. You know what I mean? Like serious joke.
Yeah, that's a sad fact of life.
I was gonna say, guys. I don't know. I think you guys would understand what I'm trying to say. And I know I could probably break it down into the feeling of nostalgia, but it kind of goes deeper than that. Like you remember sitting down watching Toonami when it would just show up on your TV, and because you didn't know what it was, it's like that dopamine kick you got because it was like you're finding something that no one else had. It was when like Cyborg 009 was out.
Talk dirty.
Bro, yo, do you remember Samurai 7? I don't know if
yes.
No.
Oh, yes.
So it was like when all those came out and no one else knew about it. No one knew about anime. You'd see the kids with the Dragon Ball Z button ups, and people would be like, "Oh, what's that?" Yeah, and you'd have the shirts and everything. People are like, "Oh, what is he wearing? What is that?" People would make fun of you. You couldn't find anime unless it was like maybe in its own shop or like FYE or Hot Topic
or New York,
something else you go to. But it was like you were part of a club. Like if you saw somebody who knew about anime, you're like, yo, this is amazing. And people would make fun of you, anything, but you come home, you stay up trying to watch Dot Hacksaw at midnight. But
the first isekai in my eyes.
No, and now it's like Goku's in the Thanksgiving Day parade with Luffy. And I'm just like, it's nice, bro. But it's so big. It's like you never will ever have that feeling again.
I was trying to explain that to my son, and explain to him because he goes to school and people wearing my Hero Academia. And so I'm just explaining to him, back in my generation, back in school, you were a pariah. If you're wearing if you're openly wearing that stuff, man, you were the scum of the earth.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna sound old as hell. Okay, so we used to have computer class where like which was it was literally just like, oh, no, you go to the computer lab, you sit at the computer and you do whatever the heck you need to do. Dude, okay, back like before, like back when like geo sites and Angel Fire websites were a thing,
right.
I was super heavy. I say like I used to be. I still am. I was into Sailor Moon.
Oh,
I like Sailor Moon.
I love
Dude,
it.
let me tell you something. I used to get my shit
Cooked.
cooked. I'm talking like just chopped up and thrown on the griddle and turned into a Philly cheesesteak sandwich.
Hey,
I'm
yo.
talking about it. Like if somebody walked by my computer and saw me looking up pictures of Sailor Moon,
Yeah.
bruh, I used to be like, man, what's this girly stuff? What's
Right.
this?
Don't worry about
What's
that.
this you watching? What,
Don't worry
what's,
about that.
I was like, bro, and it wasn't even like I was looking at hentai or nothing. I mean, it was literally just like pictures of the Sailor Moon and the scouts, like either like doing like their little like or whatever, or doing or like in like just group shots of them just all together in their costumes. It was never like anything crazy, but like it was just like, man, look at this guy, bro, look at this girly stuff over here. I was like, dude, I was like, dude, it's not girly. I was like, it's not girly.
But like that's what I really liked about like Toonami. Like I feel like it just kind of came out of nowhere with Cartoon Network. I mean, it's been around.
It normalized it.
It did.
It normalized it.
It made it.
Like I'm watching, you're watching freaking like that's what put me onto G Gundam. That's what put me onto Sailor Moon. I was watching the original Zoids on that junk. I had my Liger, like it puts you on, and then
Liger, come on,
and then it starts progressing because like first of all, who was up at 2 a.m. watching Big O? Me. Yeah. I woke up in the middle of the night. I'm watching Big O. Yeah, this is dope.
I set my alarm.
They started kind of like progressing.
Yeah.
We're talking about like Dragon Ball Z, and then like Naruto, and then then they started playing a little bit of like Rave Masters, and then some One Piece. Like,
Rave Master.
I'm saying, bro.
Dude, let me tell you something. Did y'all ever? I don't know if y'all ever caught this because this was still once again. This was kind of like in the early like the dark ages of Toonami, but like Sci-Fi Channel used to have an anime feature.
Saturday morning anime, and that's how I first watched. That's why I first caught Akira. And also Ghost in the Shell. Saturday morning anime. That's the only way I was able to find it in Connecticut at the time.
Yeah, Ghost in the Shell was definitely on the Sci-Fi Channel.
It was so good.
Adult Swim was playing Ghost in the Shell.
Yep.
Yeah, but do you remember Jet X, Austin?
I do. Yeah, it was a little like
play one
thing with one eye.
And they used to play one called Shinzo. An anime called Shinzo. There was another one that they had. Oh, Zatch Bell.
I remember Zatch Bell, the little doll thing.
Bell. Yeah, they had Zatch Bell. There was a couple other ones, but in the morning,
Metabee with the robot. What was the robot? The robot. Metabee.
We had
Metabots, I think.
Maybe it was Metabots.
There were so many good ones. And like don't get me wrong. I'm glad anime is popular now. I'll never say that I don't like that anime is popular. You'll never hear me say that. But I will say I'm sad at the same time that it is as popular as it is, because I feel like the stuff that got popular was the stuff that like I only just liked. Like the stuff like, because I was a seinen guy, like anime and manga that's geared towards young adults and just maybe adults in general. So like I used to love my stuff like, man, like where it was dark, it was gritty, it was grimy, it was gory, it was adult as all get out. Not necessarily saying it had to have like naked chicks running around all the time. Just like I just liked it because like, man, this is dark. It's just, dude, this is scratching an itch that I never knew I had for anything. And I still like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I don't love my shonen anime. Like, I mean, to be fair, it's not my favorite genre, but like I do love a good dose of Demon Slayer, good dose of JJK, so on and so forth. But I feel like and you're kind of seeing a taste of it come back just a little bit, with with Chainsaw Man coming out, with your oh man, like Psychopaths kind of made a return out of nowhere. Didn't even know it was still a thing. And one day I look up, oh hey, there's a movie. Okay, all right.
Even the new Ninja Kamui.
Ninja Kamui
on Adult Swim. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That show.
It's wild.
Chef's kiss.
It's like the old school anime with a slight updated like art style, but it's the old school. If you like Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, like Samurai Champloo, like the art style. What was it? Afro Samurai, even like the art style Afro Samurai.
It actually reminds me a lot of Afro Samurai.
In the art style, the way they animate the fights and how you see like the blurry lines, but you can still see the choreography. It's just like that, man. It's so good.
We don't get that kind of animation often.
No.
And it's not to say it can't be done. I think people just I think that it's all about trends. It's all about trends. What's making money? What's actually making money? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, it's your JJKs, your Chainsaw Mans,
bubbly like pop.
Yeah. That is it's kind of like we used to have this. I didn't say this earlier, but I used to be in a band, and the type of band I was in, we were kind of like a metalcore kind of screamo band. And I remember when people used to try and ask me like how to describe what that actually is to people that don't know, I would always tell them, I said, it's the gateway drug that gets you into heavier metal. Like I was like, metalcore is your gateway drug to death metal, melodic death metal, black metal, so on and so on and so forth. It's like the lighter stuff that like you would be more likely to hear on the radio, even though technically, well, nowadays you'd hear it on the radio, but like back then it was the stuff that like they ain't playing the show on the radio, but if they were going to play on the radio, they played this a million times faster. They're going to play that other stuff. That was like, that's basically what it is. It's stuff that like, it has that kind of poppy, kind of bubble gum. Like it's easy. It's easily consumable. It's the McDonald's of that genre of music. And that's kind of what a lot of this other, like, and not to downplay shonen, but shonen is kind of becoming that way. It's the gateway drug for you to get into, like, it used to be the gateway drug was Akira. Like when people like in that age bracket, like, you probably saw Akira or Vampire Hunter D or something like that first. But now it's shonen anime that catches people because it's so readily available. And it's like, oh yeah, man. So I was watching Naruto, or I was watching, Hunter x Hunter, or I'm watching, JJK or something like that. Those are the ones that are going to be quicker to bring people into the fold, and then that's when they dive in and they see like, oh my god, there's all this other stuff here.
Right.
Oh my god, there's like a whole world.
Yeah, and it's not as crazy. Yeah. But I feel like that's why. Not to say that people can't be. I don't know, not because anime does have a lot of wildness in it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like it's not. Anime does have wildness in it, but I feel like
I struggle with Chainsaw Man. I'm not going to lie.
Listen. But the thing is, with our generation, or even older ones, even younger ones, in their maybe even in their mid 20s, maybe even kind of early-ish 20s, though. Your gateway was Akira. Your gateway was these things, but now your gateway is My Hero Academia.
Yeah, it is.
So right. You go for My Hero, and then you look up, what's Chainsaw Man? In the first episode, this man is literally getting cut up into pieces. You're like, what is this? So you can't, you know what I mean? Like, people are crazy with it. But,
I'm about to say, no.
But if you saw Akira, and then you see Chainsaw Man, you're like, oh, this is nothing, because it just like it's the tolerance. So kids are getting into even Boruto. They're like, what's that meme? It's like, it's like, oh yeah, you like Naruto? It's like, oh, what you mean Boruto? You're talking about Boruto's dad? It's like, no, it's not Boruto's dad, it's Naruto. And Boruto is just a one-off, like, silly thing.
Right.
It's not Boruto's dad, it's Naruto. Like, they're getting in with Boruto, and let's go save this cat for an episode and a half. You know what I mean? And then like, I watch anime, and then they go watch like Jujutsu Kaisen, which is a little more, it's a little heavier than that.
It's just that's the gateway for me between like your typical shonen and when you start getting to the heavier stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's like JJK walks up to the line, steps over it, but doesn't bring the other foot over.
Yeah.
Like, because I've had that conversation. I've had that same conversation you're talking about. I've had that with people where they're the people. I remember when Bleach was the rage. When it first started kicking off, everyone's like, "Oh man, Bleach, dude! I ain't never seen anything like Bleach before." And I would be that guy, like, so we're just gonna sit here and pretend like Yu Yu Hakusho wasn't out here.
Yeah,
we gonna sit here and act like the Dark Tournament just never happened to anybody. Exactly. Okay, all right. No, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. You know, and when JJK hit, everybody's like, "Man, I ain't never seen anything like JJK." I'm like, "All right, so we just go disrespect Yu Yu Hakusho and Bleach at the same time." Yeah. All right. Exactly. Yu Yu Hakusho, that used to be my stuff, man. I was like, dude, that was it for me.
You know what hooked me? I remember. I'm sorry, Sean. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, brother.
No. So I remember I'm in 8th grade, and Toonami was still felt underground a little bit, and I remember I'm watching. I get home watching TV one day, and then the first of all, remember the old school Toonami, not the trailers. What's the word I'm looking for? Like the music videos.
Oh,
yeah.
And they would splice in a bunch of animes in their shows. They would like one of my dad's favorite. Paul, I guarantee he'll comment on YouTube once he watches this. Space is the Place. Video. Now, the show that got him with the dopamine was Gundam Wing. That trailer, and I didn't know how good that show was because I was in the 8th grade, as far as the plot and story and everything, until I rewatch it later on. I remember getting married and someone got it for me as a wedding gift, like the box set. And this was way past its time. As far as me watching it back in the 90s, it's way plot and story in depth and etc. And it's not good versus evil. It's all these different characters and arcs and viewpoints, way ahead of its time. But that trailer gave me the first dopamine hit as far as the anime, and didn't know what I was watching. And plus, I was like giant robot obsessed because, I was just getting past Power Rangers. At that point. But
don't get me started on Power Rangers.
We're gonna get there.
I was gonna say though, do you guys remember Claymore? Have you ever seen Claymore?
Oh yeah, I was actually just watching it the other day,
bro. When people talk about Demon Slayer, I was like, there's no way you're gonna try to act like Claymore didn't exist. Like Claymore was the Witchers, was the women Witchers. Like that's who the Claymores were. And I was like, how you gonna try to act like Kimetsu no Yaiba is so new, or the idea is
people forget. People forget because you know what it is? It's recency bias. It's recency bias because like I said, with Bleach, when Bleach was hot, people acted like Yu Yu Hakusho never happened. When there's another one that I always think about in regards to things that I guess kind of call back, but like even with the JJK
had an impact on it.
Inuyasha. I actually tell people all the time, Demon Slayer to me is just kind of like an updated version of Inuyasha, just with less of a focus on romance.
Yeah, and I didn't think Inuyasha.
Like the tone, the tone and the tenor of Inuyasha, but just raise the stakes.
Yeah.
That's what that is. That's 100% what that is. I personally feel like, you are whatever it is that you first touches you. That's gonna be your thing. Yeah. And you're gonna be constantly reminded about it because like I said, all this stuff is cyclical. All this stuff is people saying, hey, this stuff over here, this made us all the money. Can we make another one of these? And then sooner or later, a mangaka is going to come along. Is going to have just the medicine. Just the medicine. And they're going to hand it over and people are going to eat it up. Case in point. I often tell people that, when you look at like you mentioned